What's up, YouTube? It's your boy CastawayEnt. I got a good one for y'all today. Now, yo, we are starting the GlOCK series right now. We're going to be testing a bunch of different FRTs and a bunch of different GlOCKs, bro. We're going to get them on as many different models as we can, bro. And if we can get people, you know, some of the supporters to test them in their models and record their series, we will be adding that on the Patreon as well. But for now, we're starting with the GlOCK 17. And this is unloaded. This is a training magazine, YouTube, so I can't even put bullets in here if I wanted to. Firearm is empty, as you can see, empty firearm, and we are in a safe environment. YouTube, that I'm not showing anybody how to do anything illegal, bro. And I'm sorry, y'all, I just gotta do this, bro, because they flagging everything, bro. So for one, you make sure your gun is empty. Now you can proceed to take it down. Now I have a little gas pedal in here, so I have to punch that out just a little bit, and then I can hit my little pins right here. All right, give it a little slack. It should come right up. Now if you have an FRT in here already, or if you ever experienced your FRT, you know, you having trouble with your slide coming off, push your trigger up as you're sliding it off, and it will release your slide. What's happening is your trip is just a little bit too high, and just you pushing that trigger forward like that, it's pushing that trip back just a little bit more, so it's giving that slide just enough room just to get off, bro. So if you ever experience that issue where your slide is getting stuck with the trip in there, go ahead and push that trigger forward a little bit, boom, and it slide right off. So boom, we got that out the way. Go ahead and take this apart. Make sure you do not lose your parts, bro. I can't stress it enough. Do not lose these parts, my boy. So now you can proceed to take your frame apart. It's pretty simple, bro. All you're doing is taking these little pins out. And if you put an FRT in before, or you messed around with your gun at all, bro, everything that I'm doing right now is fairly simple, bro. Just take all of these parts out. And I have a work desk right here, so I ain't really worried about them dropping. Got everything out, and I'm not going to like take this DZ trigger off of here, but I do have a brand new trigger that I will install for y'all boys, and I'm going to show y'all how to install it and swap the regular mil-spec trigger shoe for your FRT trigger shoe. We're going to do that right now. Regular mil-spec trigger shoe right here. Have like a little punch, or this is actually a screwdriver, bro. I just need something small enough for me to punch this out to the other side, bro. That's what you're planning to do right here. You don't want to try to hammer this all the way through the other side, bro, because 9 times out of 10 it's not going to work. So you just want to hammer. Well, you can see those two little pins right there, bro. You want to hit these pins until they start protruding on the other side. Like that. You can very much see that pin on the other side. Now I want to take this, lay it on the other side, and hammer this back out the other way that I was just trying to hammer it through. Now this might be a little hard since this has a little pin on it, bro, so I need something flat at first just to get it back down, bro. And this little bullshit jig, bro, it's just meant to hold the trigger in place a little bit so you can actually hammer it. So here we go. We're just trying to get this pin out the other side. Okay, my pin is protruding a little bit. Once it starts to protrude like this, you can hammer it just a little bit more, bro. But if you hammered it enough to where you can grab it with like some pliers or something like that, you don't even need to hammer it anymore. Just take this little pin out and you can take your bar out just like that. Alright, now the goal is to get it like your pin punched in or something like that, bro. If you have like needle nose pliers or something like that to hold it in for you to hammer it in, bro, and you can actually see it, then yeah, you're in the game, bro. So that's exactly what I did at first. So I just want to line that up, and I'm just guessing right now. Okay, so trigger shoe is in just like that, bro. And that's how I put my trigger shoes in, bro. Some of them are a little bit easier to install, and I didn't even use this little jig, bro. Now I can punch that shoe in just a little bit more, make sure it's even on both sides. Now we good, we in the game. Now we can install this on our trigger housing, and I'm going to show you exactly how to cut your connector as well, on top of the areas that I be polishing, bro. I'm giving y'all the whole little breakdown, bro. This is exactly what I'm doing, and hopefully you can get your little FRT working too. Proceeding to cutting this connector, you have a little ear on this connector, this right here. You want to take that down. You see how it's pretty much a wall? You want to make that flat. So that's all I'm doing right now. And the tools that I'm using, little hyper tough Dremel and these little red cutting wheels. If you get a Dremel kit, bro, you'll most definitely get some of these wheels. But it's like a sanding wheel. If you don't get one with a kit, this is a sanding wheel, and that is how I cut my trips, how I cut the connector, pretty much how I cut everything with the GlOCK FRT. You can do it with this Dremel right here, low hyper tough. And I think this is like $50, bro. So alright, you want to take that air, and remember, we're only touching this air right here. We're only touching this. We do not want to touch this at all. We only want to take this down. And how I do it is I will angle it like that, and then I will go on top of it. I feel like it cuts down a little bit faster, especially if you have like a new cutting wheel. It'll cut down fast. And wear glasses too, because you have a whole bunch of just metal flying in your face. It can get all in your eyes, bro. You don't want to hurt yourself, bro. So wear some glasses when you are doing this, but you pretty much just want to get that wall and shave it down. And you don't need to crank the speed up a whole bunch. You see, my speed is only on 2. I don't have it all. This can go all the way up to like 9, I'm pretty sure. 7. So this can go all the way up to 7, but I only have it on 2. So if you have one of these ones that like get plugged into the wall, bro, you don't have to turn it up all the way. And you probably don't want to turn it up all the way either. Alright, now when you ask how far do I go, I shaved mine all the way down. Pimbleton said that you don't need this ear when you install on the GlOCK FRT and etc. So if you don't need it, I feel like taking it all the way out the way completely will help your gun run a little bit better. So I personally take it all the way down. You don't have to if you don't want to, bro. As long as you can get your reset on there, you cool. That's what this is for, is getting your GlOCK FRT to reset. If you can't with like the 3.5 connector or the 3.0 connector, something like that. But I take mine all the way down, boys. Alright, now we are done with that connector. Look at that, very flat finish. I'm gonna get a unshaved one so you boys can see the difference. So this is what an unshaved trip look like, and this is what a shaved trip look like. You can't mess that up, bro. You really can't mess that up. You just take it all the way down, and as you can see, I'm only targeting one area. Alright, now there's your cut connector right there. And like I said, bro, it's only one way to cut this when you're cutting this connector, bro, so you can't mess it up. Now you can drop that back in your trigger housing, and it's only one way to do that as well. You see this little part at the bottom right here? Go ahead and just drop that in there, and I personally push mine all the way in. And then you can put your trigger bar and your trigger shoe back on your trigger housing. And I have a Gen 4, so I have to connect this spring with this little hole right here. Just have to put that in there, just like that. Put a little bit of tension on it, bring it around, drop it right in there. and that is how you put your trigger bar back in your trigger housing. Now it might not, you know, stay exactly down like that, bro, but it doesn't matter. When it's in a gun, the frame will force this to stay just like this. So that is how you cut your connector and how you install it. But before we install this back into our gun and etc., bro, we're going to clean it up, clean everything up a little bit, polish everything up, and then we're going to proceed. And we're not going to install a shaved trip, bro. We're going to do an unshaved trip like this. This is an unshaved trip, bro. I didn't do anything to this yet. And we're going to install this one first to see exactly what it does to the gun. And there we're going to, you know, shave our trip accordingly. Because what if we just drop this in and it goes right away? You never know, bro. So we're going to try the unshaved trip first. And then we're going to, you know, proceed to shave it down. But now we're going to clean everything up. And I'm cleaning with this Remington oil lubricant. So this is like, it cleans your firearm and it kind of lubricates it as well, bro. So, I mean, you obviously should throw a little bit more oil in there after you know, wipe everything down. But I was cleaning like with, you know, the Hoppy #9 gun cleaner. But I don't know, it kind of had my gun feeling a little bit gritty, or, you know what I'm saying, bro? Maybe I sprayed too much on it, or I don't know, bro. But I feel like this, like the little Remington wipes, bro, they're way better, bro. And I just took them to the range. They had the 23 and a 43X running like butter, bro. Now, if you do have these wipes, bro, go ahead and shake it up. You know, get some of that oil in the setter that's in the bottom of there, all on your wipes, bro. Go ahead and just take one. That's all you need. And you literally just want to wipe everything down. Pretty self-explanatory. So go ahead, take your barrel, wipe that down. Now, maybe you should be wearing gloves, bro, but it is what it is. I'll just wipe my hands after. Make sure you get that feed in right. Top of your barrel too, and you most definitely can see the oil on them wipes. See, that's exactly what I'm saying, bro. It lubricates it on top of cleaning it. Can't beat that. It's like doing two things at once. And my gun, I already cleaned this up in the setter, bro, so I don't really have to do this, but I'm just demonstrating for the video. I'm pretty much trying to clean up anything that will touch another piece of metal. Anything. Go ahead, wipe this down. And make sure you get that reduced safety plunger spring right there. Clean that up, bro, because that's what's releasing, you know, your firearm pin. So you most definitely want to make sure that's clean. Make sure this little part right here is clean. That's the part that's touching your crucifix. Make sure, hey, clean it all up, bro. Everything is cleaned up, nice and cleaned up. Now I can proceed to polish everything, and I am going to get gloves for this part because it do get kind of messy, bro. Pretty much everything you'll need to polish, you know, your gun. This little tube right here, these little polish and buffering wheels, and then a Dremel, of course. Now this Flitz polishing compound is one of the best that I, you know, came across so far. I messed around with like a couple different ones, bro, and this is hands down the best one that I came across. It's pretty simple, bro. I literally just put a, you know, a little dab of it on whatever I want to polish and just take the little buffer wheel to it, bro. It's literally that simple, bro. Like, it's very simple, bro, if you have the right, you know, tools and parts and all that stuff. I can understand some people, bro, if you don't have, you know, a Dremel that you can plug into the wall or something like that. So I do feel some people, bro, but for the people who do have the tools and etc., as you can see, bro, this shit is easy as hell. That I like to polish are the bottom of my feeding ramp, this little part right here, this little part right here. I flip it over, polish this little ledge right there, the top of my barrel, the feeding ramp, of course, the feeding ramp especially, bro. Polish this whole little area where, you know, the firearm or the bullet is trying to, you know, come into the little barrel part. So make sure you polish that feeding ramp for sure. Also like to polish my crucifix. I like to polish the crucifix. I like to polish this little part of the trigger bar right here where it's connecting on, well, where it's touching the connector. I like to polish my connector as well. What else are we polishing? I like to polish the top of, you know, my little guide rod rails or whatever those motherfuckers called, bro. Y'all know, it's like I'm showing y'all this time, bro. So it ain't like on YouTube where I can't, like, you know, really show you the trip. I like to polish the trip as well. The trip, the safety plunger spring that's actually installed in there. I like to polish that on top. You know, I'm pretty much polishing everything metal that's touching another piece of metal, bro. Because I feel like, you know, once you polish and clean everything up, everything is a little bit slicker and everything slides off each other a little bit better, which means that your, you know, your gun or your FRT will run a little bit better. And oil always helps your gun, bro. So if you oiling your gun on top, like if you're oiling a tuned gun, oh yeah, your money. You in the game, baby. So now I'm about to throw on some gloves real quick, bro. I'm about to show y'all exactly how I polish with, you know, this compound right here, bro. It's so fucking simple. Alright, now when you're polishing, you don't want to OD like with this little compound right here, bro. A little dab is all you need. It'll take you a long way. I'm going to demonstrate on the trip. And throw a little bit on there. Just like that. That's honestly probably a little bit too much. Go ahead, get that out the way. Probably wipe a little bit off. And boom. Got your compound on there. You just take your Dremel to the part where you put the compound on, bro, and keep it there, you know, moving back and forth until you get that mirror polish finish that we're talking about. Now I can probably hit it, you know, a little bit more, but let me wipe it off real quick to show y'all boys. Boom. I don't know if you can really see that on camera, but if you're polishing your trip, you most definitely can, you know, see that difference right here. You can see it shining way more than like this little area right here where we haven't touched yet. So that's pretty much how you polish your trip, bro. And you literally just want to get it as clean, as polished up as you can, bro. You want to see your reflection in this trip when you're done with it. See that a little bit better. You most definitely can see the shine and see like how this part right here where you'll actually, you know, insert your pin and all that isn't really shining at all, bro. Now let's clean that part up. And there you go, bro. One side of your trip is shaved. And once you like shave it down completely, get you a little t-shirt or something, you know, clean it up, get your fingerprints and all of the excess off of it. But it's pretty much this simple, bro. It's literally how you do it, yo. Now let's polish something else. Okay, let's polish. We're gonna polish this right here. Throw a little bit on top. You can see. Take your little Dremel. It's that simple, bro. That is how you polish up your FRT and all of the parts. Well, this is how I polish it up. You know, some people might have a different method of polishing, but you know, it works for me, bro. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, bro. So now you just go through the same process with your feeding ramp, you know, the bottom of your barrel, top of your barrel, your trip. You know, you want to hit that connector. You want to get that trigger bar, your crucifix. You know, like I said, bro, hit up anything metal that's touching another piece of metal. And then now you can, you know, put everything back together. And then we can proceed to the real tuning process. So I'm going to, you know, polish everything up, bro. And I don't need to show y'all boys exactly how to do that, bro. I showed y'all the areas where you need to polish. And I showed you how to polish it. Now you can go ahead and do all of that. Pause the video, bro. Because the next part, we will be putting it together. And we're going to do that right now. All right, now we can put everything back together. Go ahead and find your trigger bar and your trigger housing. I'm going to drop that in first. Just like that. Now, some of you might have to get rid of your slide lever lock with certain FRT designs. With this design, I can't have the slide lever lock, so I'm just going to set that off to the side. Go ahead and put my trip in there. Put that on that little ledge, on the trigger shoe. Go ahead and put my little locking block in there. Drop it in there, just like that. Then I want to pre-clear the hole out, line everything up. And then I can drop my gas pedal in there. Just like that. And if you pre-punch the hole, bro, you can see like it literally just dropped right in there. Then I can get a hammer, secure it even more, just like that. That pin's in. And I can put this top pin in. I almost put the wrong one in. Make sure you putting the right pins in the right area. Okay, my top pin is in. Then I can put my back pin in for my trigger housing. Just like that. Make sure it's in. Good on both sides. And boom, your frame is all together. Make sure you can move your, like once you push this little part on your trigger bar, that it's moving your trigger. You in a game, baby. Now you can put your slide back together. And we didn't take anything apart on this slide, bro, so you can't just drop your barrel in there and then put your guide rod on there. Just make sure that your guide rod is on the right notch. I have a gas pedal, so I do have to release a little bit of tension by taking it out just a little bit. And then I can slide my slide back on. So boom, just like that. And I can just push my gas pedal back in there. But that is how you install the FRT. That is how you clean it up. That is how you polish it. That's how you cut your connector. That's how you get, you know, your whole FRT started, bro. And that's all we got for this video, bro. That's all I was showing you for this video. Now, the next video, we will be taking this to the range, bro. And I did an unshaved trip so I can show you, you know, the whole tuning process of what your gun will look like when your trip is too high and what your gun will look like once your trip is too low. So for this trip right here, bro, we're going to keep it like this for the first little testing, and then we're going to come home and I'm going to show y'all boys how to shave it accordingly while getting that function test right. Like, I know right now that this is going to be real sticky because the slide is sticking like this. Like, I personally know from experience that I'm going to have to shave my trip 100% if my, you know, if my slide is doing this right here. But for experimental purposes and just for me to show y'all boys, we're going to leave it like this so I can show y'all boys exactly like what your gun is going to do. So that's all I got for y'all today, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that. It's free, man. And yo, this video 9 times out of 10 is on Patreon, bro. And videos like this will stay on Patreon. We're not even focusing on YouTube when it comes to stuff like this because it always get demonetized, bro. And I'm trying to go, like, you know, more in depth with y'all. As you can see, we have the meta glasses on. Y'all can see, like, you know, what I'm doing a little bit more, bro. I'm showing y'all pictures of what I'm doing, the parts and stuff that I'm getting, you know, whole 9 yards. We can break it down more on the Patreon a little bit more. So we're gonna still be on YouTube, like I said, bro, but more in-depth installs all gonna be on Patreon. But hey, I'm out of here, baby. Hey, you like that one? Go ahead, click this one too, bro. You gonna fuck with it, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Man, click the fucking video, man.